Everyone, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I would today like to share my experiences from transforming an auction firm to an e-auction, which I've been doing for the last 6 years.
大家好，很高兴今天有这样一个机会跟大家来交流，来分享我的经验，特别是过去6年里，我在经营 PS 这家公司，特别是就是他做的这样的一个转型，从传统到完全的线上拍卖行的这样的一个经验。
So, just introducing myself, my name is Per Henriksson. I'm the CEO for the company. I have a background within e-commerce since 1998. I have been working for companies such as eBay before.
大家好，我叫佩尔亨利克森。那么我现在呢是 PS 拍卖行的首席执行官。我在其实电子商务领域有着一些从业经验。那么从1998年开始，我就先后为像 eBay 这样的公司来服务。
I would like also to present my company PS Auction. Today we are the number one Nordic e-auction. We have a history. We are more than 60 years old. And we have 70 people located all over the Nordic. We do business in most European countries. So we are very much having customers in all the European countries.
PS 拍卖行呢，现在已经是北欧的第一大在线拍卖行。那么它已经有60多年的历史。我们现在呢有70多名员工。那我们主要是服务于欧洲拍卖市场，所以我们的客户也遍布欧洲各地。
But that has always been like that. When I entered the company in 6 years ago, we were a small auction firm only doing business in our own country. We had not so many, we had mostly offline. We didn't do so many online auctions. So I have a very clear mission to grow the business from being the auction firm to be something else.
那么6年前呢，其实我们这家拍卖行还很小。那么我们的拍卖业务还主要其实就是国内业务。那么那会儿呢，也大部分是线下拍卖会，很少有线上的拍卖。那么自从我加入之后，我就定了一个非常明确的目标，就是要把这家公司打造成一个线上的拍卖行。
What we began to look at was the impacting global trends. What is happening out in the world? What do we need to adapt? Can we continue the way we do, or do we need to change the way we operate?
那么因为我们其实目标是不仅于在国内的业务，所以我们先来看看就是对全球的这样贸易的一些影响的因素那么我们如何去适应这些变化。
And I've shown you what we looked into a few years ago. I think we can summarize it in 2 mega trends which impacted then and are even more stronger now. It's digitalization and environment.
那很多年前其实我们整个的这个环境就变得更加数字化。
And if we look today, what is happening now, especially with the coronavirus, we have seen that has been even more stronger. People are doing home shopping even more. The trade barriers have increased, of course. Consumer rights have been even more important. And environmental issues has been even more stronger.
那么从这一次的这个疫情，大家也可以看到，整个电子商务其实已经成为了我们主要的一个这样的一种生活方式。那么同样关于进口增值税消费税以及关于这个循环经济这些因素都在影响着我们。
So this spring, our web traffic has increased with 40%, and I think we have the same profit this 6 months as we had the last 12 months last year. So the the impact of Corona has been very strong for us and increased the profitability and the amount of work we have been doing.
其实新冠呢，就是对我们的影响很大。我们现在大部分的这种客户都是通过我们的在线的这个平台来进行购买交易。那我们过去6个月的这个成交量呢，其实超过了我们过去差不多20个月的这样的一个交易情况，交易量。
And a trend which also, of course, is talked about in China, all over the world, is the environment. We need to have a much more environmentally friendly production, consumption, and it's been the companies needs to be more sustainable. And from that expression has been called circular economy, which very much is about taking care of produce items more eco-friendly, use them in a much more better way, reuse items so that you don't just use it and throw it away. And when the item is used, you should try to regain the material to produce new material again. And that has been very much in our focus when we looked in our new business.
那么谈到其实我们的一个新增的这样的一个业务板块，那它是关于这个循环经济。其实在中国循环经济这个其实也是受到了大家的关注。比如说这个生产和消费如何很好的去平衡和生产和消费，然后如何去生产出来更这个环境友好的这种商品。同时如何再的重复和再利用循环利用这个商品的价值那么这个其实已经成为了我们公司很大的一个关注的业务点。
So what can we learn? I think we have been very eco-friendly in 60 years' time. I think every auction firm selling used stuff, they are very eco-friendly because they help old stuff getting new users instead of scrapping it and get new ones. But what we needed to learn is to learn from the e-commerce companies. And in China, you have fantastic e-commerce companies, which we can learn very much from. So we have, our focus from 6 years ago and now on and forward is very much e-auction, focusing on sustainability and very much e-commerce structure.
那其实过去6年里面，我们有一个很强的理念，就是我们会引导大家更多的去购买这可以再重复利用的商品，而不是这个商品用过一次就把它扔掉，然后再去买新的东西。其实谈到电子商务，中国的电子商务其实发展的非常快，要远超于我们，我们有很多可以学习的。但是呢，就我们的拍卖业务来讲呢，我们在过去的6年里一直强调的是可持续发展，就是专注这样的一个循环经济。
I think we auction people are experts at taking care of the used stuff, and we should use that strength in the future, because even we know that in China people like to buy new, but probably this will change when China goes from high production to high quality, which will happen because they want to have better stuff and they will be more expensive and they will have the opportunity to use it once again instead of throwing it away. And that is a fantastic opportunity for us auctioneers, which are really experts on taking care of old stuff.
那么作为拍卖人呢，其实我们有一个很大的一个优势，就是在对于二手物品的评估以及销售方面。那么尽管现在中国人还是更多的有一个对于全新物品的消费的一个习惯，但是随着我们从高这种数量发展到向高质量的一个经济发展，那么大家更多的会追求高品质的商品，那么它的可重复和循环利用就会很多。那同时我们拍卖人的机会也在此。
And our customers, the customers we help selling these stuff, they can't afford not to be eco-friendly or sustainable. They need to work with companies like us who take care of them and help them become sustainable even more.
在瑞典呢，其实政府它也在推动这种可持续的这种循环经济，所以他们很愿意和我们拍卖行来合作。
I think you will recognize from the pictures what we have been doing and still doing, from auctions, taking care of shipyards, taking on mining, building tunnels, metalworking, and we will do that in the future as well, and we will be really good at it.
那么我们现在来看看我们具体从事的这个拍卖的业务。那么过去很多年呢，包括我们现在也还在做的一个重要的一个项目，就是破产清算的拍卖。那么大家可以从图片当中看到，从这个船舶厂，那么到建筑工程到挖掘机，到我们的金属的加工的这些设备，都是我们拍卖的拍品。
But we needed to add something more, because liquidation was good business, but it was difficult to predict. We never knew when it came, and the potential was limited. So we need to find something else to add to our business.
虽然破产清算呢是一个这个还不错的项目但是呢，其实我们需要更多的挖掘新的业务点，因为我们其实无法去预测什么时候会有这样的项目它是有一定的不可控性，而且其实它的利润呢不是特别，利润空间并不是很大所以我们其实也在持续的去挖掘一些新的领域。
So what we added to our business is we're looking at what happens in the world. We're having a lot more e-commerce companies. We have a lot more new stuff that elderly models we are not used and returned. People are buying stuff from e-commerce which is not fully functional, or it's old, and the amount of item from that is huge, and they need another channel to sell their goods, because they don't want to destroy their own business, and they don't want to discount stuff. So we have found a lot of e-commerce companies. We are taking care of the overstock and elderly models from them.
我们看第一个我们这样的新的拓展的这样的一个业务领域，就是我们会为这个电商机构来服务，因为他们呢会有很多的这种退货的商品那这些商品其实会有不同程度的一些破损或者是使用的痕迹，所以他们不会在自己正常的这样的一个渠道再次销售，所以他会找到我们，与我们合作来作为一个重要的渠道来处置这样的一个退货。另外呢，还有比如说他们过剩的一些库存商品，也会通过拍卖的方式来处置。
And we know ourselves when we look out on the window from Singles Day that when the single days occur, there are a lot of transportation and transports with new goods going to the customer. Just a few days later, they go in the other direction because people have bought too much or they have regretted their purchase. And that is a great problem for the e-commerce, that's taking care of the almost new stuff, but still the package is broken and it's not new anymore, and no one wants to pay the full price, and they need to take care of it somehow. And we have become a solution for that kind of goods in Sweden.
那么对于这个电商的退货，就是大部分的消费者可能买来之后隔了几天他又后悔，所以他会退回去。然后另外呢，比如说在运输的过程当中，他可能损坏了那么他们都会通过拍卖来处置。
But also the second part we have added is the companies not in liquidation or not in bankruptcy, quite well fresh companies who wants to grade up their machine park. Instead of throwing it or scrapping it, we take care of it, and they can instead buy a new one, and they can claim that they are very sustainable. And we do, either we sell it as it is, or we quite often started to refurbish it and sell it as an upgraded used machine, which has become very popular, especially in minor companies who doesn't afford, but they want good quality, but they don't want to pay for a new one.
另外一类我们新增的业务呢，它的委托来源其实不是来自于这种破产企业，而是需要在技术或者设备上进行升级更新的这样的企业，它会淘汰一些设备，那么我们会把它作为翻新，然后销售给那些有需要的那么其实这一类的这种翻新设备是非常受欢迎的特别是在这种比如说挖掘设备
And the good thing with those kind of businesses is that the companies like to do business first because they look very good. They can communicate that they are eco-friendly and they're sustainable, and they take care of their machines in a proper way, which helps the environment. So the money is not that important. Of course, they want money for it, but we are allowed to take good payment from those kind of businesses. So that has definitely expanded in our business, and especially in good times when there are not so many liquidations, there will be more of that kind as well.
很多企业它其实是很在意自己的这种环境保护或者是可持续的这种发展的这样的一个理念，所以它有的时候去处置这样的设备，并不是去追求它的价格。所以呢，我们其实在这一块的业务领域当中的收益是非常的可观的，特别是当有一些破产的项目并不是特别多的时候，它给我们做了一个非常好的一个补充。
So how do we make money? How do we have a good profit, which we have had the last years now? The main revenue streams comes from two sources. It's commission from the seller and the payment from the buyer. So the commission from the seller is from 5 to 25% of the highest bid, and the buyer's premium is 5 to 10% of the total bidding sum.
那么下面我们就来看看最重要的一部分，就是我们怎么赚钱的哈。来看一下 PS 公司的这个收入的来源，他们的佣金构成是这样的，会向卖家呢收取5%到25%的佣金，那向买家会收取5%到10%的这样一个佣金。
We have had some small. In the early days, we had some shipping revenues, we had some refurbishing, we had some financing. But with the new area we entered, we have found a lot of more revenues.
除了佣金的收入以外呢，我们还有一些其他的服务收入，比如说像就是物流运输另外呢还有比如设备的这种翻新服务，然后包括一些金融服务。
And the new revenues are very much more related to logistics, not only from surplus, even from a bankruptcy or liquidation. We help international buyers to get stuff delivered, which in the early days they had to pick it up themselves. We have introduced guarantees, which means that we prolong, instead of when they pick up some stuff, we can promise them that will be, if they have a problem within 3 or 6 months, we will take it back and sell it again. So they guarantee that the stuff works, and we take some payment for that. We charge them if they want to have some more foreign descriptions. We charge them for on vehicles. We get some kickback on insurances, and we get some kickback on financing major deals as well.
那么我们具体的一些就是除佣金以外的一些收入呢，比如说有比如我们对于国际买家呢，他可能不想自己去现场提货，我们会提供这种物流运输的服务。那么第二个呢，就是有一些商品我们会提供这种延长的保修这样的一个服务收入。另外呢，像我们的有一些设备，我们会提供一些检测报告的这样的一个服务。另外呢，比如说我们会跟这个车辆的保险公司来合作，比如说销售保险那另外呢就是一些金融服务的收入。
How do we approach when we approach new customers, especially with liquidations? They are used to auctions, but when we approach e-commerce companies, other companies, why should they work with us? Why shouldn't they try to sell it themselves? Or why shouldn't they just keep the stuff? I think we have 3 very strong arguments for this. And the first is, with auction, the market defines the pricing. You don't need to make the customer afraid of, will I get the right price? The customer may every time argue that this is worth so much, and with auction, you get the right price for the item. Now you can translate a little bit.
那么有一个问题就是我们卖家为什么不自己去卖？因为现在电商其实也很发达了啊，那为什么又会选择我们？那么有这样3个很重要的原因，他觉得。那第一个呢，就是关于对于商品的定价，那就是一个拍卖人呢，他会给予一个非常合理的一个价值的一个评估，然后给出一个合理的价格。
And of course, besides that, also getting someone to use your auction is very low risk. We use only commissions, so we can tell them, well, we can estimate what your item is worth, and we put it on auction, and if it's not sold, you can keep it. But we promise you, we'll guarantee you, if we can agree on this certain price, we will sell it for you. So the risk for the customer is very low. And the third and the last one is it is quick sale. We have the audience, we have the methods. If money is needed urgently, you will get the amount of money you need quickly. So if you're prepared to accept quite a little bit lower price, we will sell it very quickly.
那另外2个因素，第一个就是委托给拍卖行来卖呢，就是没有什么风险那就是你会委托给我们，然后我们去上拍，那如果没有拍成，我们会归还，只要达到一定的价格，我们其实是会把它这个处置出去。那另外一点呢，就是如果你非常的急于的这个，因为我们有大量的专业的买家客户，所以如果你急于的希望通过资产变现的话，那我们会很快速的帮助你实现资金的一个回笼。
I'm also going to tell you why I think e-auction is much stronger than e-commerce. You guys and we have such an advantage relatively the e-commerce company, because actually is superior. I'm going to give you a story about this.
接下来我会用一个案例来讲一下为什么我们的网上拍卖要比网上的普通的这个电子的商务这个销售要更有优势。我们来看一个案例。
We had a customer who wanted to sell this it was almost unused, an old Honda motorcycle called Golden Monkey. He was very eager. I want 24,000 RMB for this motorcycle. And we said, we will sell it for the highest bidder and we get some commission. No, I want 24,000. You can keep the rest. But that is it. But I think it will be better if you look at what the bidding will give you. No, I know what this is worth. I know better than you. You can, I want this. Okay. That was the startup.
Yeah. 那我们看这样一件拍品，那它是应该是一个很经典款的那种摩托车，然后有这样一个卖家呢，他找到我们说他很了解这个市场价格，我就想换算成人民币24,000把它卖掉。PS 公司就说我们其实可以卖到更高的价格。最终事实上这个摩托呢，它是以这个9万人民币成交的，但是因为卖家他当时非常自信的认为说你们不会卖得更高，如果产生溢价的部分，那么就全都归拍卖行所有。所以他这个地方其实列了一个就是他这个买家佣金他其实是应该收入4,800人民币但其实最终他的 PS 公司的收益要远远超过这个
So asking for 24,000, we hope we get a little bit profit. We realize that we know that it might find some interest because we have a big amount of buyers. And the interesting thing that when we have introduced surplus and other stuff, we have broadened our purchase and not just professional buying big machines. They're big, but also small machines. They buy consumer-related goods. So they're very keen on going into the auction. So we are able to have a lot of things on the auction. And this specific item, when the auction was closed, we have sold it for 90,000 RMB plus our service fee, the buyer's premium for 4,008. So the net profit for PS was 70,800 RMB. And the seller was such a loser because he was so stubborn. He wanted his 24,000 and he wanted a contract. And so if he had agreed on a commission-based sales, he would have been such a winner. But auction is superior.
那就是为什么会发生这样的事情，就是其实拍卖行有一个非常强大的一个客户群体，他们在处置这些过剩的库存这个拍卖业务的时候，其实非常意外的又给他们带来了很多比如说这种C 端的客户，比如说对于个人物品的这种消费的这个市场群体。那么已经不再是原来比如说他像做破产清算去购买大型设备的那种投资人那么他的买家群体要更丰富了，所以这是为什么这个人来上拍的时候他们最后成交到这个9万人民币。
So what we're doing since we broaden up our scope, we have been able to sell very much more. We're selling big boats, we're selling small machines, we are selling collector's items. We have been selling a Rolls-Royce garage. And the good thing is that the same buyer who buys an excavator, he can buy a Rolls-Royce, and he can buy a boat, and he can buy these machines as well. So we have a so great variety on the auctions and good traffic and good profitability thanks to that we have opened up for other items as well.
那因为呢他们扩大了自己的这个拍品的这个品类包括业务范围，所以大家可以看到呢他从拍卖船只，然后到像普通的这种工具设备，然后到古董，甚至有像劳斯莱斯这样的老爷车。有一个很有趣的现象，就是这个买老爷车的人他也可能会去买船，然后他也可能有其他的需求，所以随着这种拍品的多样化，他的买家的是不断的丰富，反而给他带来了非常多的这种收益。
So how do we do when we get the buyers to the sellers? We need to work with our reputation, but also having sales stuff. But getting the buyers, we haven't been able to build very good direct traffic to our website, and we have sending a newsletter twice per week to our registered users. We do use social media for storytelling with Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and we do use both search engines like Google, but we use also a specialized website on certain categories. And note, there is no newspaper involved in our marketing at all, no print advertising at all.
那我们来看看我们服务的客户，那么我们这个服务的客户既有卖家也有买家。那么卖家呢，我们其实主要是靠自己的品牌声誉来维护好跟他的关系。那么在拓展买家方面，我们来看一下我们的这个买家的这个构成以及主要的市场营销的这个渠道。那我们40%的这个客户其实来自于我们自由这个交易平台的这样的一个客户流量，那么占到了40%。那么另外呢，我们还有20%是来自我们的邮件客户，就是我们会通过发送邮件的方式吸引来买家。那么另外在现在这样一个时代，我们很重要的就是社交媒体的这样的一个营销。那有20%的客户也来自于像Facebook 和这样的一些的主要的社交媒介。那另外呢，还有20%是来自我们的搜索引擎，像谷歌这样。
I would very much like to say that the social media is very strong for auction because auction, unlike e-commerce, auction is exciting, it's vibrant, it's happen things. You can do storytelling very much more on social media and get people are much more engaged when it's auction taking place. It's something different and you want to win. Unlike the e-commerce is boring. You have one thing, when you bought it, well, you leave it. But in auction, you follow the bidding and you can do, so quite often we get more paid when, instead of when they could bought a new one for the same money. So, I would very much stress use the social media you have in your country because that is strong.
然后我要特别强调一下，就是社交媒体的这种重要性。 因为拍卖和这个普通的电子商务可能不一样，因为我们有竞拍，我们其实是很激烈的，然后我们有很多的其实这样的故事其实可以去讲所以社交媒体是一种非常好的这样的一种呈现方式和渠道。
I would like to end this session with 3 advices what we have done to change our business. We have looked very much on the e-commerce, how they do with the payment, how do they do with delivery, how do they do with guarantees, how they do with agreement, website. I would stress the fact that you should absolutely build an e-commerce structure.
那最后呢，我想给大家这个3点建议，就是我们作为拍卖行很重要的这样3件事。那其实我们在跟客户的这个交流或者是我们拍卖的交易当中，其实会有很多环节，比如说像协议很多，所以我们觉得第一点很重要的是要建立一个电子商务的这样的一个业务的一个架构。
And secondly, look at what's happening in the world with the environment. Now we have the corona, which has forced us to change how we behave. But still we have the environment which we need to take care of. And I think we have a great opportunity here to help the factories and industries to produce less and to produce less pollution and instead produce high quality items which can be used over and over again and refurbished. So look into that circular economy and think about how you can be a part of it and strengthen your customers' business and at the same time be much more attractive to the consumer who likes to buy in eco-friendly.
那么第2点呢，就是我们要建立起一个这样循环经济的一个业务以及思维方式吧。虽然我们现在受到疫情的影响，我们很多的这种生活工作都受到了影响，但是其实我们对于环境的这种保护其实是没有改变的。那么其实对于拍卖行来讲，我们是一个很好的机遇，通过我们的业务来保护环境，降低污染，来去提高这种物品的循环再次利用的这样的价值。那么通过我们持续的这个努力，其实我们会这个吸引到这样的真正的这种目标市场的客户从而做一个更好的一个社会责任。
And lastly, marketing is expensive and difficult. It's easy to waste money very much and not find social media is a fantastic channel where you can store about how fantastic your company is, but how fun and interesting, how good it's to work with auction, how environmentally friendly you are, how exciting it is to look into auction and participate. Use the social media you have and build your stories because it's quite cheap actually, and you get very good impact on that.
那么第3点呢，就是其实我们都知道，就是市场营销很重要，但它其实很费钱，它要花钱也比较贵。那么其实对于拍卖来讲社交媒体是一个非常低成本又非常好用的一个手段，我们通过它去展示整个拍卖的这样的一个过程，来讲好我们的拍卖故事。
So I think that will be concluding my short but hopefully interesting presentation, and I would say thank you very much for having your time and the inspiration to listen to what we have said today. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat. 那么最后呢，就是很感谢大家。那就是希望我的这个分享和演讲呢，对大家使大家喜欢，然后也有一定的帮助。再次感谢大家参加今天的这样的一个活动。那我们也特别感谢佩尔来这样的一个时候，然后其实真的是跨洋我们在线上做这个分享。那么接下来呢，我们会有一些时间来跟大家通过这样的提问回答的互动方式来更有针对性和深入的和我们的佩尔来交流。
你好，主持人。
你好。你好。
Hello, Miss Pear. 想问一个问题哈，就是我们现在疫情这个期间呢，我们这个疫情还没有完全结束嘛，对不对？然后我们疫情期间如果有没有其他更好的建议，对于一个拍卖行来说，还有在他们的国家，他们拍卖行是如何应对疫情期间的这些问题的？包括比如说不能在线下组织拍卖会，虽然已经移到线上了，那它还是有其他中间的，比如说要看标的啊，或者是其他一些相关的一系列的一些操作的流程。那他们是如何解决这个问题的呢
？So this gentleman has a question that because of the COVID-19 and there brings a lot of difficulties to auction business. Although we can do online auction, online transaction, but they are still offline. Like how do we do the preview? How to do the transport? And he would like to hear your experience in dealing with these problems.
We had when we had displaying and showing previews, as you say, we arranged open up if there were a mine or a shipyard. We open up for with stations where we didn't allow much people to go there, so they had to have clean their hands and not too many people enter the area. So we had a lot of precautions, but we were able to actually deal with the restrictions that were issued by the government. And people followed them quite well. When it came to transportation, the companies, they came and picked up. And I think it worked very well, but it took very much more work, and we needed to put some more energy into that. But we also moved the small stuff in an auction, was moved into our logistics center where we take care of it ourselves, and we sent a lot more items than before. Instead of allowing the customers coming to pick it up, we used the transportation to send it. So especially people from sorry.
Okay, you can go ahead.
We had a lot of customers from Europe, Germany, Italy, and they weren't not able to cross the border, but we helped them with shipping. So I think that was a good business for us as well.
那佩尔他刚刚说呢，首先关于这个就像预展的这些问题，那他肯定不会像以前那样，所以他们会比如说分次，然后数量人比较少，然后遵循政府的这样的一个要求，还是可以进行预展的。比如说他们那个就是船厂的那个拍卖的预展，大家还是可以到那个地方去看的，但是人数是降低了很多。然后关于呢就是运输的问题，其实之前很多他们的买家会现场提货，比如说因为他们有很多来自像德国啊、意大利啊这样的买家，那由于受疫情的影响，他们就会选择是运输的方式，但反而呢其实给他们带来了一个这个收入的一个增长，就是因为他们可以提供这个物流服务了。
他们公司自建一个物流的一个运输的这个服务一个体系，对吗
？Per, you have your own logistic team, or you using the third party, the outside service?
When it comes to we have our warehouse, a big warehouse where we can store them and keep them. When it comes to the actual transportation, we use a third-party solution.
那他们就是仓库是自有的，他们有很多那个存储的仓库，但是就这个交通运输这一方面，他会用第三方的运输公司的服务。
那么在未来就是有哪些，比如说像他们这样的外国的拍卖企业，有没有意向会进到国内，要开展一些国际化的业务，拍卖的业务？
Okay. I think this question you will have a lot to answer. That in the future, the international company like PS, do you have any plan to enter into Chinese market?
We would like to enter, but it's difficult to get into. The import rules are very strict into China. I will look into it. I've been doing some visits and the need for used high quality used stuff isn't that great yet in China, so we're hoping that will pick up. But Yes, we would like to be in China, but I think we need, in that case, need to start up our own branch if that should happen.
他说他其实是很有兴趣可以就是进入中国市场但是因为我们国家的这个进口的这个要求这个规定是非常的严格的，对，所以他也在其实持续关注。那就是未来如果他要进入到中国的话，他可能也会先考虑自己要在中国建一个分支机构，然后来处理就相关的这种国际贸易
Thank you very much, Ms. Pierre. And 谢谢主持人。好的，
主持人好，你好，我想请问，有跟您同行竞争的有没有，或者说有没有合作的
？Pierre, this gentleman has a question that, so in Sweden, do you have any competitors or any partners in the auction business? Do you have any other auction company as your competitor or partner?
Yeah, we definitely have competitors, but none has gone in that direction. We have